How does a boy born into poverty rise to become a Formula One legend? This is the story of a 3-year-old whose family couldn't afford fancy racing gear or even a proper go-kart. And when he finally got one, he couldn't even reach the pedals. But this little boy had a dream, and he wasn't going to let anything hold him back. From racing on makeshift tracks to dethroning the greatest names in F1, he transformed childhood passion into legendary success. Not only did he become one of the youngest world champions, he did it twice, proving he was more than just a competitor. He was a phenomenon, racing with a skill so sharp it felt like he had turbo boosters hidden under his helmet. This is the incredible story of Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso Díaz was born on July 29, 1981 to José Luis Alonso, a talented mechanic and passionate amateur kart driver, and Ana Díaz, who spent her days tirelessly working at a department store. Growing up in the lively town of Oviedo, young Fernando was the apple of his parents' eyes, always eager to follow in his father's footsteps. From the very beginning, his love for racing was ignited. One day, in an attempt to be the coolest dad on the block, Alonso's father built a go-kart for his bigger sister. But she wasn't feeling the vibes of racing, so the kart found its way to little Fernando. It felt like a ride in a giant's toy car, really, with Fernando struggling to reach the pedals. But his enthusiasm hinted that a hero was in the making. By the age of 5, Fernando was granted his first mandatory kart racing license. His early years were anything but ordinary, marked by a series of impressive victories that made everyone take notice. From the Asturias and Galicia Children's Junior Championship to the Spanish Karting Championship with Jenna Kart in 1993 and the Junior World Championship in 1996, his talent was evident. By 1999, Fernando was 17 and ready to take the racing world by storm. He joined Campos Motorsport in the Euro Open by Nissan and didn't just dip his toes. He cannonballed into the championship, winning 6 races and securing 9 pole positions. Formula One teams were watching closely. They knew they were witnessing the rise of a future legend. In 2001, Fernando Alonso revved up his engines for his Formula One debut with Minardi. Sure, the team wasn't exactly winning races, but Fernando was the real star of the show. Day after day, he outpaced his teammate Tarso Marquez in qualifying sessions, proving that when it comes to raw talent, Fernando was in a league of his own. Even when the Minardi PS01 struggled with reliability issues, Fernando's speed was undeniable. A memorable moment from his debut season was when he crashed a 2-seater Minardi during a fan day, a mix of racing and unintended comedy that left fans both laughing and cheering for him. Fernando's brilliant performances with Minardi got him a test driver position with Renault in 2002, then moving him up to the Renault race team by 2003. In that year, he made the record for becoming the youngest pole position holder at the Malaysian Grand Prix, and gained his maiden race win in Hungary, making him the youngest F1 race winner until then. Finishing 6th in the World Drivers' Championship with 55 points, Fernando's rise was there to see. Over the next few seasons, Fernando started proving he was one of the best drivers around. Fans absolutely loved him and started calling him El Niño, which means the little one. But there was nothing little about the splash he was making. In 2004, he mounted an equally successful campaign with Renault. He closed out the season a hard-fought 4th in the standings. But the breakthrough came in 2005 when he really reached superstardom. Against the stern challenge of McLaren's Kimi Räikkönen, Fernando's Renault proved more reliable and allowed him to cash in on consistent performances. He won 7 races and collected 133 points to become the youngest World Drivers' Champion. At just 24 years old, Alonso did what others only dreamt of. He rewrote history by beating Emerson Fittipaldi's age-defying record. He proved that when you're young and fast, records are meant to be broken. And he didn't stop there. In 2006, he squared off against the legendary Michael Schumacher, one of the greatest drivers of all time. With fierce competition and faced with difficult regulatory circumstances, Fernando secured his 2nd world championship, turning him into the youngest ever double world champion at that time. His battle with Schumacher was the battle between David and Goliath on the asphalt, and it was phenomenal. In 2007, he turbocharged his career by signing a 3-year contract with McLaren, one of the elite teams of Formula One. partnering him with the rookie sensation Lewis Hamilton. Their on-track rivalry was just as fierce, turning each and every Grand Prix into a high-stakes duel of speed and strategy. But the real drama happened off-track with the infamous Spygate affair. McLaren had been caught red-handed with the evidence of stealing Ferrari's top-secret technical information and were fined a whopping $100 million, aside from a ban from the Constructors' Championship for that season. While Fernando was not directly involved in the spying affair, to be part of this team in such a scandalous event generates enormous pressure. This split with McLaren, despite finishing third in the World Drivers' Championship and scoring 109 points, made his move back to Renault inevitable in 2008. And just when you thought Fernando had enough scandals, it seemed like they actually had to follow him wherever he went. But could a scandal tarnish Alonso's relentless pursuit of victory? Back at Renault, Fernando Alonso was ready to hit the ground running, little knowing that he was about to star in his own racing drama. This brings us to the infamous Crashgate scandal at the Singapore Grand Prix, where his teammate Nelson Piquet Jr. was ordered to stage a spectacular crash to help boost Fernando's victory chances. Pity it was a reality twist in Formula One. While chaos was going on all over the place, Fernando did not lose his head. He kept a clear mind and passed the competition to prove once more why he's one of F1's best racers. In 2010, Fernando joined Ferrari, beginning a new chapter in his career with the Italian team. He started off the new season really well by winning the Bahrain Grand Prix and some other races. However, a strategic mistake in the last race of the season made him slip just behind Sebastian Vettel. He fought on with Ferrari, finishing in second place in the championships of 2010, 2012, and 2013, once again racing wheel-to-wheel with Vettel and the rest of the best. Despite all of these success stories, Fernando's time at Ferrari had its ups and downs. The team was suffering from poor car performance and reliability, mostly in the 2014 season with new V6 hybrid turbo engines. Frustrations were clear regarding competitiveness. Fernando opted to return to McLaren in 2015, this time around with Honda as a partner. That partnership too had its own share of teething problems, including underpowered and unreliable Honda engines. Between 2015 and 2018, his second stint at McLaren was marked by struggles with car performance. With a continuous complaint over the team's direction and issues relating to car performance, Fernando quit Formula One at the end of the season due to not being able to race on the track and the predictability of the results. However, retirement wasn't in his vocabulary. He made a triumphant return in 2021 with Alpine, previously known as Renault. He proved that he still had it in him by securing a podium finish to lift up the team. In 2023, Fernando joined Aston Martin, and yet another exciting chapter was born. Indeed, his partnership with Lance Stroll, plus the investment of the team in terms of performance, gave a fabulous result. He reached his 100th podium to join the elite club of drivers with such a record. But his racing ventures didn't stop at Formula One, as he also tried endurance racing, winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans twice with Toyota, and securing the FIA World Endurance Championship in 2018 through 19. His versatility knew no bounds, because he also tried his hand at no less than 3 attempts in the Indianapolis 500 and even the Dakar Rally, showing to all that he can master all disciplines in motorsport. Off the track, Fernando Alonso is a dynamic and multifaceted individual. A passionate biking enthusiast and fluent in 4 languages, he embodies the spirit of a true global ambassador for the sport. His entrepreneurial ventures are equally impressive, including founding the fashion brand Kimoa and actively participating in esports. Alonso owns racing teams and is a vocal supporter of virtual motorsport competitions, showcasing his versatility and commitment to innovation both on and off the track. The influence of Fernando does not only stop at racing. To this date, he's such an influential figure for the popularization of F1 within his homeland. Suddenly, everyone wanted to be a racer, and kids were trading in their toy cars for mini go-karts, inspired by the immense feats of Fernando. With several career awards, such as the Prince of Asturias Award for Sports under his belt, he's been inducted into the FIA Hall of Fame, and his legacy is truly complete with the mark he's left on and off the track. So, the next time you watch a Formula One race, remember the magic of this guy, the kid who couldn't even reach the pedals, but ended up reaching the peak of racing greatness. With 2 world championships, 32 Grand Prix wins, and 100 podium finishes, Fernando Alonso's journey is just incredible.